Okay, so I'm gonna like try and finally make this strawberry shortcake video a couple days later. Um, man, you guys, I have been so freaking tired. Like, I don't know what it is. It just like my eyes feel heavy, my brain feels heavy, like everything's just like I'm like low key wondering because I've been ordering this like mushroom powder stuff to put in my coffee off of Amazon, and I'm like, well, all of the celebrities that have been like abusing me are in with Jeff Bezos. Maybe the reason that they advertised that stuff to me was to get away with poisoning me or something. Like maybe that's why I'm so tired. Because like the first bag that I got, I was like, wow, this stuff really works. I have so much energy, and now I'm just like I could sleep at any time all day. I don't know. And cancer or something. Anyway, I thought that this was gonna be like a hey you guys, it's on the back of the box because like I the strawberry shortcake biscuit recipe that I normally use was on the back of the Bisquick box. Maybe you have to get like the bigger box or something. So I'm just gonna like if you get the Bisquick box, there's like the regular biscuit recipe, and then there's like this peach cobbler one now. So I'm just gonna kind of like, do a mashup of both of them. Um, I don't think I'm gonna put nutmeg, probably just like sugar or like maybe some like orange peel or like mandarin, not orange, mandarin peel. What's that called? With the grater, the specific zest, some zest. Except for I hate using the zester because it's really difficult to clean, so I'll probably just like chop it up and put it in there because that's good with strawberry shortcake. Um, anyway, let's get at this. This is another one of those videos where I'm going to talk about politics. Um, because there's a couple of things on my mind. Like, apparently the new Pope has come out and said that marriage is between a man and a woman. The Catholics are standing their ground and their bigotry and anti-love. Um, and fuck them. Fuck Abrahamic religion. Like that's how I feel about it. And I'll go ahead and say it, um I guess the nature of religion is to think that your religion is superior to other religions. Oh shit, I better turn on this top one. Like unless everybody just decided that they all wanted to be the same religion, that's kind of the nature of it is to that it's like you choose your religion because you think it's better than all the other ones. Um, so kind of like all this stuff about like you have to accept all the religions. Like, I mean, I understand like tolerating people and stuff, but when other religions want to like be intolerant of me, I don't feel like I have to fucking like them. Um, and if employers want to like try and force me or whatever, I'll just die. I don't care. Like I'll retire from Earth because I'm fucking not gonna play that game. I'm not gonna do it. Um, but another thing about like Abrahamic religion, is that I feel like it really encourages people to be maybe not like gay, but like transgender. Um, because it encourages like so much of a division between men and women. Um, and it isolates men and women from each other. And so, like when you have like monasteries and stuff like that, where, and, like in religions where the priests aren't allowed to have a wife and stuff like that, they end up um turning to the men that are around them for comfort, and they end up like preying on children and stuff. And then also like in I'm gonna just use this whole thing that says a cup of milk, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna use coconut milk. Um in Islamic religion, um there's like they're called like baka, which is basically like girls who like aren't necessarily transgender, but they from a young age, in order to be able to support their families and stuff, they will start dressing as boys so that they will be able to just like go out in the world and like run errands and have a job and um what is this? Coconut butter instead of the oil. Um, so the girls from a young age are kind of like encouraged to pretend to be boys, and then once like they hit puberty and they start looking like women, then they have to like start covering up and basically like give up all of the freedom that they had when they were a kid. Um just, over forming breasts basically. Um and because of the fact that like women are so oppressed in Muslim society, um the men, like there's a video about it that I'll link in the description. It's a documentary. The men will start like uh, basically like recruiting little boys um to be like erotic dancers and stuff at parties. And the little boys will dress up as girls and pretend to be girls. Um, Basically like just to fill the void for the fact that the women aren't allowed to participate at all. Um, so the fact that they like enforce all of this stuff that is just totally unnatural ends up leading to more perversion. Um, and I'm an advocate of the LGBT community, and also someone who considers myself like queer, and like you could probably say bisexual, but like I don't feel like that necessarily defines me, whether I like put somewhere basically. Um like I've had girlfriends and stuff. I've had sexual experiences with several women. Um And so like I mean you could say that I'm bisexual, but I feel like a lot of people try to push me out of the LGBT community just like because I'm a white woman. Like, and I don't like very clearly define, you know, who I want to fuck and um like I've clearly defined what my gender is. I'm a woman and a big part of the reason for that is because of just like everything that I went through in the military and feeling like I had to work my ass off to gain respect as a woman. And so I'm proud of being a woman, and also just like the domestic violence stuff that I witnessed, that I went through when I was a kid with my mom. And like I've been through like as a woman, I've been through so much that I'm very proud of my ability to like be a fucking badass and hold my own. And like I don't fucking require a man. If a man wants to like be a decent person, then like yeah, we'll be friends and all that. Like I'm not like totally anti-men or whatever, but I don't take no shit. So um, and I don't feel like because I think a lot of like I saw the thing where and I'm not trying to like okay, I can't stand these like celebrities like that. The singer Lorde and like this song that she recently put out about her best cigarette and he left her because he didn't want to have an MDMA addiction, da da da, like I hate that kind of shit is being put out and like kids hear it and stuff like that. Like I don't know that I respect her as a person. I've never met her though. But that all of those people are such a fucking terrible influence on this world. And also like the song Royals that they made, like I was informed that that was made to mock me about the fact that I was doing my family tree and stuff like that. Um, but anyway, she said recently that sometimes she's a man and sometimes she's a woman, and I'm okay with that. But as far as myself personally, like I feel like I don't have to be a man to be a badass. Like I don't. That's not a requirement. Having a little fucking like little thumb sticking out of that it's not a fucking requirement for me to be a badass. Um these guys that I used to work with, they said that I should start wearing a dong to work so that like the management and stuff would take me seriously because like I could do all the same work that the men would do. And there's a lot of women out there that are like way more bad than men. And there's a lot of men out there that are like, very, 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 very feminine. And you're never gonna get them to be the tough guy, like no matter how hard you try. So I just don't understand the point of like trying to like enforce these like you go in the circle hole and you go in the square hole things on people. It doesn't fucking make any sense to me. Um, there's like a whole spectrum of people, and even like when I was in a foster home when I was a kid, um my foster parent told me about how she had a girl once who my foster mother when I was younger told me about one of the foster kids that she had um was born I guess this is like so thin that I'm just gonna use it. She was born with like out without um any kind of organs like I say she, I'm getting to that part. Without like a uterus or testicles or a penis and no opening down there at all. It was just like flat. Uh, and so the doctors decided to make the baby a female. Um, and so it's just one of those things where like it's not as black and white as people want to make it out to be. Um, and if they're gonna like bring religion into it, well, then their God did that to that baby, you know. So how do you reconcile with that one? You know, your God did that to that baby. Um, so that's like really fucked up to treat someone like they're lesser than or whatever, because their biology isn't like what you personally think should be the norm. What you think should be the norm isn't. And so your opinion doesn't fucking matter, basically, is how I feel about it. Um, so yeah. And as far as like all the trans people getting kicked out of the military, I know I kind of like brought this up in the other video, but um there are like some conflicts that I understand um about that whole situation. But something that I want to say is like, please, if you know somebody who is transgender or LGBT who is currently serving or has served in the military, like, please make a point to reach out to them and tell them that you appreciate, like, even if this country doesn't show them the respect that they deserve, that you appreciate that, they were willing to go through like all the fucking bullshit of military training and everything to defend this country. And if they went to war and all that, like make sure that they know that you appreciate it, because the shit that's happening right now with transgender people being kicked out of the military is definitely going to make uh, create a situation where there's more suicidal veterans. So like hopefully people care, and those people who served, no matter like what anyone's thoughts on it are, um when if they get kicked out, when they get kicked out, because it sounds like that's definitely happening, um they're a veteran. That's a military veteran, no matter what, and no one can take that from them. Like that happened. They did serve. I've been told a lot, like just fucking constantly, that I didn't actually serve because I'm a female. I was in Iraq doing the same fucking job as the men. Like not all men in the military are out like, infantry and kicking in doors and stuff like that. But they asked me to do that job with them. Like I was okay with doing it. So, um, people who served in the military, regardless of your feelings, if the government should have let them, it's already done. It already happened. They already fucking served. Like too late. So, um, like please make sure to let them know that, they are respected and they deserve that respect. Um, so on the subject of like my own gender, I was thinking about like lavender marriages, because that's been in the news and stuff. And like, I don't know, honestly, I think it's kind of dumb. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Like, as far as like, if you have two people that want to have kids or something, like, and it's a gay guy and they're marrying for like, you know, uh, the benefits that society provides to couples, or they're doing it to hide their sexual orientation from their family or, stuff like that. Like I understand like all the reasons behind it. And I think that that sucks that like people would have to resort to that under some kind of duress. I mean, if somebody's just like your best friend and you decide like, that you want to be married because you know that you're just like going to be best friends no matter what. And I kind of understand it in that regard also. Um, but I think it's kind of dumb in the sense that like, obviously there's going to be a sexless marriage. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how the dynamics of that would work as far as like, why even get into a marriage if you're gonna be like, all like sleeping around with other people and stuff like that. I mean, but I know that people get into marriages and they have open marriages and stuff like that. I personally don't agree with that, but I also feel like if that's what somebody is doing, it's like not really my business. Like, um, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on women from men to allow men to be disrespectful to women as far as that goes. Um, and so that's something that I would like not submit to personally. But on that subject, um, when I was in the military still, um, I had a really close friend, and I remember telling her that like I was gonna get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed because like not because that I was gonna get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed, and that I was going to marry her so that she would have like all of the benefits of a military spouse. Because like she had some health issues, like not anything like too bad or whatever, but it was just like something where like her medical care would be taken care of and she'd be able to go to college and she'd be able to get like how like we would be able to get like housing and share it and like there's just like so many fucking benefits to being a military spouse. um they would like hook you up with free vacations and like dental and all that kind of stuff. And I felt at that point like why would I want to marry a man if men are so dumb that there are like women in the military that are still single? Because like women figured it out. Women figured that shit out. Women will be like camped outside the post, going to all the bars outside the post. Like they're gonna find a military husband because they want the benefits. You know, like women have been doing that shit forever. But like men are so dumb that they'll be like that they'll fall for it when the prostitutes are like, women are supposed to be soft. All this like soft horrorcore shit that Meghan Markle does. Um, and trying to shame, you know, military veterans and women in the military and stuff like that for like not being soft like shit. Like men are like so fucking brainwashed by those prostitutes that just want to be like financially supported by men that they don't recognize that like if they get with a military woman, they get free housing and free medical and free dental and free education and like all this fucking shit. Like, like military women come with a fucking dowry, a dowry from this government. And these guys are just like so fucking brainwashed. Like why would you want any of these men if they're that dumb? I'm not feeling it. Um so yeah, I was saying that I was gonna marry her from Donut, but then I ended up like getting out of the military. getting out of the military shortly. Well, not by choice. I had planned on staying in the military until I retired. Um, because I had already been in for like um 11 years when they were like trying to get me commissioned. Um, I want more of this orange stuff in here. They were trying to get me commissioned. I was going to become an officer and I was going to stay in all the way to retirement because I like excelled at the military. Yeah, and a lot of people say to me oh, you don't seem like the type that would be in the military or I don't know why they would ever let you in the military. And it's like, I excelled at everything. I shot expert. I maxed out my PT tests. I did so well when I was in commo school that they had me stay to do the satellite course. And now the Space Force is like a whole new branch that's basically what my job was in the military. They just took my job and made it into an entire branch of service. So, it's like all this shit is ridiculous. The way that they try to act like, oh, women can't keep up, like trying and the guys that I worked with, that wanted me to go out on the raids, they said that they had like started to resent women because they knew that we were fully capable of doing all the same shit that they could. They had witnessed that themselves in the training that we had done. And so they didn't understand why they were out putting their lives on the line while the women were just like, you know, sitting on post doing nothing. No, I mean, there were a lot of times actually where you're like doing nothing in the military, like hurry up and wait. Um, so yeah, I don't get all of that. When when guys like act like that, I just like you're a fucking peacock, you're a little pick me peacock. Like, trying to show off for everyone, and it's just ridiculous, you know. When I was in Okinawa, I was on the Marine base and I seen this chick and she was like one of those like huge Samoan chicks. Like, she's probably like 6'5" and just like thick as fuck, and she had this huge tire. I don't know, it must have been from like some kind of tractor or something because it was like really huge and she was just like tossing it, tossing it around and I was like, God damn, that's a burly bitch. I was like, and can't nobody tell me like she was way tougher than most of the dudes. So it's just ridiculous that anyone would suggest that all women are supposed to be soft and all men are supposed to be all fucking hardcore. Like that's not how it works. That's not the reality. Ugh. I realized I was only like 10 years old. My mom had recently died. I remember the moment and I was living with my grandparents and I had a room with like a walk-in closet. And I was like sitting in the door of the walk-in closet looking into the bedroom and it was like the veil lifted and I was just like, why is everybody just going along with this shit? Like I was only 10 years old and I was just like, what the fuck? Why is everybody just so fucking delulu and trying to like force this like alternate reality that like isn't the reality that we actually live in on everyone? What the hell? And I just decided that like I wasn't gonna play along with it anymore. That I was like done. That I wanted shit to be real and not bullshit. Um, along with other experiences. Um, my my aunt Danielle, my mom's sister, she had like all these books on like witchcraft and stuff like that, and, like candles and stuff like that. So I would like sneak in her room to like look at the books and stuff. And I summoned one of the demons from the books. Um, because it said that it would like provide knowledge of hidden things and stuff. And I was only 10 years old, and I asked the demon because I was like angry about what my mom had gone through in her life, like all the abuse that she had been through, and how nobody would help her, and how, ultimately she was murdered, um, and no one like did anything about the people that did that to her. And so I was fully considering like turning to evil to get to avenge my mother's death, to get revenge on everyone that like let that happen to her. Um, and so I summoned the demon and asked it like, what's the consequence of um what's the consequence of evil? What's hell? Like what happens when people turn to evil? And all of the sudden I blacked out, and I was in it was like almost, it reminded me of like one of those circus rides where um you're like kind of like flipping around and stuff and going in a circle at the same time while you're flipping around. One of those kind of things. It was like that. Like it was all like you could tell that it was out in like open space. It was all black around. And I was just like this point of light among like all the lights of this thing, and it was like spinning and spinning and spinning, and then it started like turning into a spiral. Um, and I as I was going into the spiral, I started seeing flashes of like people talk about like you see flashes of your life and stuff when you die. Like that's what it was. I was seeing not just flashes of my life, but like flashes of my future. Um, which I don't remember, but at the time I knew that I was seeing flashes of my future, but it was like the future that would have been if I hadn't died kind of thing, because like basically like the it was like a death experience. And it like sped up as it was like going into the spiral, and then all of a sudden I just like dropped, and I dropped through like the center, and I was falling in an abyss, and I still had senses. Like I could hear, and it sounded like, you know, millions, billions of souls just screaming in agony, but there was no one there. And it was really the sound of my falling. Like, when you hear a firework and it makes that like, it was like that, like, but this, you know, like echoing for eternity, like billions of souls screaming, this kind of sound. Um, and I could see, but all that I could see the nothingness that surrounded me, and then I could see my own light, like the light of my soul. Um, and I knew that I was falling. I could sense that. And then there was like burning, like like they talk about like the fire of hell. Well, the it's not like a flame of fire. It's the friction of the fall that you're feeling. Um, and in the heat of the friction. Um, and then I could taste, and it was this like really sharp, burning, gaseous cherry flavor that was like, I suppose you could describe as like the brimstone, um, fire and brimstone, and what others? Let's see. I could see, and the smell was like that the burning and the cherry and the fire, um, kind of smell. Um, so that was something that was interesting to me, that like I still had senses as if I had like some kind of form, but the only form that I had left was just like the essence of my soul, and my soul was falling. Um, and I need to go faster because this video is going to be really long. I might have to like skip through or speed up the part where I'm like doing all the strawberries and stuff. Just to spare you guys. Like I can make another video where I'm talking about stuff, but um it was when I realized that I might not get out of that situation, that I might actually be like damned to hell for even asking what hell was, for even suggesting that I would turn to evil. Like I thought that I was dead. I thought that my life was over and that I was going to be trapped there forever. Um, and that was when it got like really terrifying. And it felt like it went on for like a really, really, really long time. Like years of falling was what it felt like. Um, and then finally, um, in the nothingness, I started to see faces forming, and they were like crying, and it was like all of the people who I had left behind who were mourning me. Um, and I saw my sister, and just a lot of people that I had met and knew and stuff. Um, and it was like they pulled me back out and brought me back to life. Um, Guys, I'm like almost crying. It was so scary. This shit's real. What I'm telling you, like this really happened. So, ugh. So I might be goth and all that, but I don't fuck around with evil. I take that shit very seriously. I feel like a lot of people, like not only just like the stalker situation that I've been dealing with, a lot of people abandoned me over that, but also like my religious experiences and beliefs, because like a lot of people are like Luciferian and sympathy for evil, da da da. And that's kind of where I was at when I had that experience. Like I was like, what kind of fucking God? You know, I was having that like sympathy for the devil kind of feeling, um before that experience. So Yeah, I'm so goth, and a lot of the music that I listen to like goes into like really dark themes, and I know that some of the people like behind the music have like real trauma that they're going through, and they might mean some of the evil shit that they say in the music, and people are like, I've had a lot of people like shame me for that, but I feel like spiritually for me, I need to. I need to see those things and I need to know what people are experiencing and um or I need to like delve into the darkness in order to understand it because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to heal it and make it better and fix people and um so I'm willing to go there to try to understand. And I think that like a lot of goth people would understand that also, what I'm saying, as far as that goes. Um, but also at the same time, like the normal people who like bully anyone like who is like that, who is like me, and like, just don't even try to understand and they're just like so cruel and stuff, like that's the real evil. Like those are the people who like, go out and commit genocides and stuff because they want to kill anybody who doesn't conform to them and you know, like like through all of history, those have been the people who end up committing the worst kind of atrocities. The normal people, and not just like because they're like bigoted themselves necessarily, but because they're turning a blind eye to everything. And trying to like have this fantasy of what the world is when it really isn't. Um, they end up causing a lot of harm to people by doing that. They're the kind of people who when their child goes to them and says like the priest is raping me, they're like, beat up the child for ever suggesting for, and they don't get people help when they need it and stuff. I feel like that's the real evil in this world. Mm. I was in a foster home once where like the foster mother she was like, I'm gonna make strawberry shortcake, and I was like so stoked because like my grandmother would make strawberry shortcake sometimes for dinner when we were kids. And so like I was thinking like grandma's strawberry shortcake, and she busted out these like the strawberry shortcake foam kind of pucks from the grocery store with some strawberries on them, and it was just like it was so bad. Like I didn't want to be like rude or anything, like ungrateful, but oh man, I was just like, what the fuck is this? This is not a strawberry shortcake. Like, come on, the recipe is so easy. Like, why? Probably be cheaper to buy the Bisquick too than those like foam pucks. Like, come on now. All right, so I just pop these in the oven. That's usually like 15-20 minutes. Okay. 11 to 13 minutes until golden. Know the drill. All right. Well, I don't know if you know, but okay. So for the strawberries, I'll just put like a little bit of water and some sugar and some ginger or like lemon, like a little bit of flavor in there. Um, I tried to do waxing, like sugar waxing for a while, but then like when I first moved into this place, because of like the tweakers that lived here before me, it was all ant infested, and so it was like it'd be my worst nightmare to be trying to wax and like find ants crawling on me and shit because they're like attracted to the smell of the melted sugar. So I kind of like gave that up for a while. And then And then I discovered my epilator, which I think I made a video where I was like joking about how that was like a cure for PTSD. What for this? I don't know if it's on this channel or my other one, but I was saying that like for people who have PTSD that like it would be like therapeutic to like rip all of the hair out of their body instead of self-harming with alcohol and stuff like that. There's like always like these weird therapies and stuff that they come up with that obviously aren't gonna work, but like they try and like push them on veterans, like, hey, maybe try this. Also always when you're like making something that's sweet, um you want to put like just a little pinch of salt in it. It just kind of like rounds out the flavor, the sweetness and stuff. Just put a little bit of salt. If you didn't know already, I'm not gonna put a lot of ginger, like, because I already have the orange peel and stuff. Like, that's like not even just like a eighth of a teaspoon. Um, and a tiny little bit of lemon juice, couple splashes of lemon juice. Oh, still recording. Okay. Mhm. So sleepy. I feel like loopy all the time. I've been like really overwhelmed with my garden too because like I have just like shit ton of seedlings started and I'm not sure like where I'm gonna put them all. So it's kind of like it's frustrating because like I'm finally getting success with starting seedlings and all that stuff now that I've like finally got my system down. So I don't want anything to die. Like when something dies, I'm like, oh, failure, like I get upset about it. But at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna have space for everything, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. And there's like others, I have like tons of seeds, and there's like all this other stuff that I wanted to start, but I'm already like overwhelmed with like what I'm gonna do with the seedlings that I do have. Um, and I just like start giving them away. However, I can't really afford to like be giving away dirt and the containers and stuff like that. So that's like a big problem with like wanting to be like generous with my gardening is that um yeah, like I'm like people say like dirt poor, like talking about poor people, dirt poor. I'm like can't even afford dirt poor, you know. So yeah. So today I was like looking at YouTube and I saw this video that was talking about like how like white people aren't supposed to wear scarves, I guess, because the scarves originated in India or Indian culture and like they were like offended that people said that scarves are Scandinavian and it's like, bruh. Nobody in a cold climate, in a cold Scandinavian climate, is gonna give up wearing scarves because somebody in a hot, warm, tropical climate, some woke person told them that they're not allowed to wear a scarf anymore. But like in addition to the scarf, they were just going off on all these things like white people can't wear blue jeans because the dyes for denim originated in India. And oh gosh, what are some of the other ones? You can't wear your hair back in a sleek bun because that's from India. You can't wear like a crop top and a skirt like what I'm wearing. Um, and I will give credit, like my skirt actually like is from India and I absolutely adore these skirts. But Um, it was basically like this chick being like all like pick me, except for like and she was like basically saying that like white women aren't allowed to like wear clothing. And like and like the people were being so extreme in this video that it was like civilization was invented in India, so no one is allowed to practice civilization. You're like come on. Like what are woke people trying to do in this world? We're not allowed to have civilization anymore, you guys. And so I was like, hey, white people, you're not allowed to be Hindus because Hindu gods only operate in India. You know, because you know that that's something that they would be offended about, like a white person being a Hindu. And it's like, are you telling me the limitations of your religion? That your gods like kind of suck because they only can work in one country with like fictitious political borders and shit. Like, come on, people. Come on, people now. And this was something that I actually like talked about in my genocide class. Well, I wrote about it in it was like one of the class discussion essays, how like most of the genocides that have happened have had women like they were caused by women doing this like sexual competition thing. Because like if you think about it with for example, the most well-known genocide, the Nazis, um they basically had this like cult of like German superiority and that German women were superior and that the German men had to breed with German women to keep the race pure. Um and you know, it's not just um the the Nazis that were like that. Like there was the the Hutus and the Tutsis. The whole war between them was over like people's physical appearance. And I mean, if they're bringing physical appearance into it, it's because bitches got jealous of other bitches. Period. You know, like that's what's going on. Um, so I don't know. I feel like people are like trying to get sexual attention um by saying that it's wrong for other races to do certain things and trying to like have that kind of control. And I feel like that is like a really dangerous thing for people to do because of the fact that it escalates into situations like, Iran and Afghanistan, where you have women that are like out enforcing it, that other women have to wear like burqas and stuff, like, totally like erase their identity completely because and they blame the men. They're like, oh, the men might try to rape someone, but really it's like the women are like paranoid that the other women are gonna seduce their men, kind of thing. And so, the reason that the women are enforcing it and going along with it and stuff like that, like obviously like not all women go along with it, but and you see this also in American culture with like I kind of went through it with my exes where I justified the fact that the men that I was dating were watching all of this like really horrific abusive pornography by telling myself, well, at least they're fantasizing about harming other women and not like being emotionally connected and intimate and stuff like that. um and um at this point, I still see a lot of women doing that, but I feel like I just got to a point with it's kind of like another veil being lifted where I was just like, I'm not gonna tolerate this anymore. I'm not gonna put up with this shit. Like that's not helping me, that's not helping anyone, that's not helping women to have a better situation in this world. Um so yeah, um sorry guys, but if you're a fucking wanker, do not apply. Like not having it. And it's not really a loss to me. Like guys try to be like, oh well, you'll never get a man if you don't accept it. And it's like, well then I don't want one. Why why would I want one? That doesn't benefit me. That's not fun for me. So okay, this looks like it's probably good for these. But I'm gonna let that cool down just a little bit because I don't want to like fully cook these strawberries. So the biscuits are almost done. Strawberries, and then I just gotta do the whipped cream. Like coconut whipping cream. So this is my first time trying this. And hopefully it works out because like I've tried to make vegan whipped cream before and it always just kind of like turns out runny and it's good. It tastes good and everything, but it doesn't like whip up like whipping cream. Yeah, so in my past lives, I had kitchens that were the size of this house. So I just don't even know how to deal with this. We used to be cooking for like the whole village, and now it's just me in this awkward little space. I mean, I was like royalty and everything, but that didn't mean that I was a bum. So I'll go to the kitchen to help out and stuff because I like food and I like learning how they made all the recipes and just participating and providing for everyone. Probably nobody will watch this, but like AI and aliens, like so shout out to them. You're cool. Nobody else is cool. Strawberry shortcake for breakfast. These, I'm so impressed. Like, they're really like soft. I thought that I was gonna have to put it in um the air fryer or toaster oven for a minute to soften them back up and warm it up, but they're actually like really super soft still. Oh, don't that look so delicious? Mmm. All right, so it's the next day. I decided to just like toss that coconut milk whipping cream because it had just like a really strong which wouldn't necessarily be like a bad thing for some things, but like a really strong nutty coconut flavor that didn't really go with this. And I tried adding vanilla and sugar and stuff, but and then it just like wasn't whipping up. Like I kept trying to like freeze it and whip it some more, and as I was whipping it, it would just like melt and get liquidy again and wouldn't whip up. So um but anyways, the strawberry shortcake without whipping cream, the mandarin orange peel in this with it's just coconut milk and I used the coconut butter and then mandarin orange peel for the recipe, and they're like really super soft and like you could just eat these plain, the biscuits. So yeah, this turned out really good. Other than the whipped cream, which I gotta figure out if somebody sees this video and they know like a good vegan whipped cream recipe, let me know. Um, I don't think you can post links in the comments, so that sucks, and I hope that YouTube will fix that. But yeah, strawberry shortcake. Ah. Mm. 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 Y'all. You gotta do that mandarin orange zest in the biscuit. It just brings it to the next level. Mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. So get you some strawberries and make strawberry shortcake. It is that season. It is that season. It's delicious. And don't be getting them like foam buns that you could buy pre-made. Those are disgusting. These biscuits are so easy to make. It's like hardly it. I mean, you can mix it up and have it in the oven in 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes of your time. And then you're eating this delicious, dank ass. Mm. Well, except for the part where I had to chop up the mandarin peel. Like you don't have to add that, but I think you should. I think you should try it. Mm, mm. About to I'm about to head out to my garden after this. I have just like tons of trays. I've got like 6 trays of seedlings that are ready to do something with. And I've already like done probably 4 trays of seedlings over the past couple of days, like planting stuff out and putting it into the crafty containers. But it's gotten really overwhelming because I just have like so many little baby plants that I need to find a place for, and my yard is really tiny and I don't have like tons of containers and stuff. But I know I'm gonna have an awesome garden this year, so girl. Anyway, strawberry shortcake.